Welcome back, everybody. We just took a quick break. We heard from Adam Escoto and Mary Patterson. Now we're going to wrap it up for our final session of the evening. This is the candidates from Morgan Hill Unified School District, TA5, Ivan, Rosales, Montes, and Pam Torrisi. My co-conspirator is actually abandoned me, so it's just me tonight. So you'll have 3 minutes to answer each question. Some of the questions will be addressed to both of you, some to just one. All right? Okay, here we go. This first question is for you both, and I'll start with Ivan. How do you see the role of a trustee, and what are your qualifications for filling that role?
Absolutely. First off, I want to just thank you, Brittany, and the Morgan Hill Chamber of Commerce for this opportunity. I think a trustee represents an important role in our school community to work with our families, our students, to represent and ensure we have a vibrant educational system for many years to come. I was born in Santa Clara County. My parents came to this country without the ability to speak English, but with the determination to attain a better life. And I experienced firsthand the challenges of navigating our educational system. And a lot of the challenges that I experienced are endured by students today. I'm very grateful for the support that I received from caring teachers and community members, which made all the difference. I've been fortunate enough to be the first in my family to graduate from college. I earned my doctorate in education from the University of Pennsylvania. And I started my career in education as a teacher. I've been an instructional coach, a curriculum specialist, and now I have the proud privilege of serving our school community as a principal in a public elementary school. I experienced firsthand our educational reality and what it means to lead our schools amid the pandemic. I believe that I have the qualifications and the experience to represent our school community and our community moving forward to ensure that we have a vibrant education for the years to come.
Thank you very much. Pam, same question.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for inviting me tonight. I do appreciate it. Okay, I've been in Morgan Hill for 55 years, and I taught in our school district as a special ed paraeducator for 34 years. And so I've seen it from within our district, what it's all about. And I was a leader in our employee union, and I've gone to many school board meetings and sat in on the process. I've been involved in budget committees where we had, where we had to sit down and cut $6 million. And we worked as a team and came up with a plan that did that job while keeping the cuts away from the classroom and still maintaining a quality education, a high quality education. And I still work within the community as a volunteer for the 3rd grade field trips at the museum. And I still tutor like I've done for the last 20-something years. And I just really feel that my experience with the students of our district make me uniquely qualified. Like I said, I've been on been to school board meetings. I'm on the personnel commission now, and I've sat in these budget committee meetings where we've had to sit and make hard decisions. And I know as a board member, would be very capable of doing that again if necessary. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. And I'm a parent and a grandparent. I have grandchildren in elementary school, and I have a granddaughter that's a high school teacher. So I hear from both sides about distance learning and the pros and cons of distance learning. And I think that we could sit down as a team and work these issues out. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question will be just for you, Ivan. How do you feel the district responded to the COVID-19 shutdown? With the knowledge you have now, what would you have changed?
Yeah. First off, I just want to recognize our family, our students, our teachers, and our district staff for the work that they're doing to ensure that we have the best possible education for our community, given the circumstances. I think our district has done a tremendous job to come together and tackle the digital divide to ensure that families that had access to, that needed access to technology and resources had them. What we also, you know, being a public school principal, I can tell you that it's more than just providing access to resources. And what we've seen is the use of our community liaisons to ensure that our families continue to have the support that they need to navigate the educational reality, the distance learning. And what we've learned is that distance learning comes with a cost. And it's a cost that we're all paying within our reality. It's definitely a different arrangement. And what we see is our most neediest families are the ones who are paying that cost exponentially. The cost it takes for them to engage every day is very high. And so what I've appreciated about our district response is the commitment to ensure that we continue to have access to the resources, the meals, and the support. And I think it's an ongoing commitment. It's an ongoing stance that we take because I'll tell you that I've met with some of our families, and it takes a lot of one-on-one intentional support to assist them in navigating the demands of distance learning. And we're currently still learning. It's something that we're redefining and making better every day and every week as we go. And so I think we've made a commitment to our community, and we're having ongoing conversations with our community. But we also got to recognize that there are opportunities to think about how we continue to serve our most neediest students, our students with disabilities, our students who are English language learners, who need that extra support to access and engage with distance learning. And I think we are deepening those lines of communications as a community to learn, listen, and improve.
Thank you. This next question is going to be for both of you. I'll start with Pam. In this shelter-in-place era, as schools move forward to reopening, what's your view on how and when that should be done, and what your role as a trustee in that process should be?
Well, I know that some people are definite advocates for reopening as soon as possible, and then there's the people that are more cautious and would like to continue with distance learning. My perspective is focus on the children, focus on the needs of the students and their parents. And we have to put those things first. And as I did for 34 years, I've listened to parents, I've been an advocate for parents and for students, and doing what's best for them. And I believe that the best type of education we can have is in a safe environment. And that's it, bottom line. Safe environment, bring our children back into a safe environment, follow guidelines, and from the county and from the state, and just bring they've got to keep the kids safe. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Same question to you, Ivan?
Yeah, so when we have conversations about district reopening, I think it's important to have that firm commitment to the health and safety of our students, our families, and also the people that are working every day to serve them. And the reality is we're at a tier 2 or red level in terms of there's still a significant risk for infection. So I would say as a principal, I look forward to the day when our students can be back on campus, interact with our teachers, and have that campus life back. But the reality is it's not safe to do so right now, and it's too soon to reopen. I would say that as a trustee, it's really important that we continue to prioritize the health and safety of our students and families, but then also be mindful of and engage our stakeholders, our teachers, our district staff in the conversation as well, because we all, reopening comes with a risk. I would say that prior to the reopening of schools, I think there are some opportunities that we can expand on and leverage. We've seen learning pods, the one through the YMCA at Barrett, and I think learning pods such as this one are steps to serve those most impacted with or through the current educational arrangement. And as a principal, we started a learning pod at my school site where we looked at who it was that was needing that additional support. And so we partnered with some of our community organizations to create a safe space for our students to be on campus, to engage in distance learning, to have caring adults to guide them in connecting, engaging with their assignments, and being able to build that social, emotional relationship with their peers. And what we saw is it made a difference. And so although I think it's too soon to reopen schools, I don't think it's too soon to think about how we can expand existing opportunities within our community to continue to increase access and connectivity for those most in need.
Thank you. All right, this next question is also going to be for both of you. I'll start with you, Pam. What is your view on how schools should manage discipline and safety? Is there a continued role for school resource officers there?
Okay, currently the district has two focuses. They have the restorative justice and positive behavior intervention. And I actually support both of those programs. I've been talking to people about them and investigating, talking, reading up on it, talking to people who work with those programs. And I do support those programs, and I think that they should continue. When there is an issue with a child, you must look at the whole child, figure out what is going on, why a child is having a problem. And I've worked at, like I said before, I've worked in the district for 34 years and I've seen it all. I've been in regular ed, special ed. I've worked from kindergarten to 12th grade. I've been in the classroom, I've been on the playground, I've been in the lunchroom. I've seen lots of problems over the years. And I believe that keeping students engaged and busy downplays problems. If children are busy physically, mentally, then they are not as likely to have a problem in school or on the playground. So we need to have a strong educational program that includes art, drama, the career and technical programs, band, and sports. It reduces discipline problems if children are engaged. Engaged students are busy and they don't have time to get in trouble because they are busy. And as far as the SROs, I've been talking to people and it's a very hot button issue. Some people are very much pro SROs, some people are very much against it. But the bottom line here again is student safety. Students must feel safe at school. Parents should feel safe sending their children to school, in the knowledge that their children will be safe. The SROs are there to build relationships, to build a rapport with students. They're there to support students, support the staff, and to promote and encourage positive behavior. But I am open to listening to parents and the community and discuss this like I have with everything else. The budget's on down on the line. You bring the groups together and you discuss things and you come to a cohesive agreement that people can live with. They may not all agree, but you bring it to where something people can live with. And that's how it is with SROs. They're there, they're doing a good job. What I'm hearing, and I've But you know, you have to have an SRO that is interested in working with students, that has a passion for students and helping students. Thank you.
Thank you, Pam. Same question, Ivan?
Great. So our community has been having this conversation. It's an important conversation to have, looking at the role that the SROs are playing within our school community, and if they're the best position to actually deliver the services that they're delivering. I would say what we can do more is to do a better, to prioritize and really make sure that we're engaging our students in this conversation and our families. What we know is that members of our community have varying relationships with the institutions that the SROs represent. And when we're having conversations about safety, I think it's being mindful of that and being mindful of just that historical context. I would say that as a trustee, I would continue to prioritize listening to our community, but also thinking about this in ways where it's safe for students to share, and whether or not the existing platforms are the right ones to really allow them to share. There's a cost to being able to share your truth, to being able to share your reality. And we have to be mindful of how we're inviting our families and students to share their truth and their reality. As it pertains to discipline, I would say that when we look at our school district overall, what we see is that students that are identified as being socioeconomically disadvantaged, Black, Latinx, Hispanic, students with disabilities, students identified as English learners, are disproportionately suspended, or they're being suspended at higher rates. And I think that that's something for us to reflect on as a community and as a district. I would say that when we're having conversations about discipline, these are very much introspective conversations about what we believe, our own socialization, how we were raised, and how we see the world. Because I do believe that our own beliefs inform the decisions that we make and inform how we understand our context and reality. And so as we have conversations about safety and discipline, I think it's a starting point. It is this introspective conversation about what our own experiences were, and making those visible to those around us, and making sure that we're engaging our students and our families in a way that honors their voice and creates a safe space for them to share their reality, so that we can make the best decision for our students and our district.
Thank you very much. I'm actually going to stay with you, Ivan, for the next question, if that's okay. Schools are likely to be under real financial stress moving forwards. How do you propose dealing with the funding impacts on the district?
So I want to start off by saying that I support Proposition 15 as one way to increase the monies or funds within our school district. But I see this as a two-pronged approach. It's not just about increasing funds within our school district, but it's also about being very clear of the reality that we're looking to actualize. So fiscal responsibility, and this goes back to our mission, vision, and values. Think about it this way: if we had $100 and we're looking to, and our needs were X, how we're going to go about spending those $100 is very much going to be informed by the values that we have. And it's no different than when we're looking at our $90 million budget as a district. How we're spending those monies should be in accordance and aligned to the values that we hold. And so as a trustee, I would prioritize processes that would allow us to reflect on and evaluate whether or not we're actually doing this in our LCAP, in our SIPSAs. But I would say that a firm commitment that I have is making sure that we have the infrastructure and the resources for our students. I firmly believe that the ways in which our schools look and the environments that we create for our students says a lot about what we believe and what we value. And I think our community and students deserve to have an educational environment that tells them that we care about them, that tells them and shows them that we care about the educational journey that they're embarking on with us. So, yeah.
Thank you. All right, Pam, we're jumping back over to you now. With the recent failure of Measure I, would you be supportive of bringing a similar message back to the voters? If so, what would you change this time around?
Well, Measure I failing was very disappointing, and it's very hard. It's very hard to pass measures in with the education in mind, and so I'm also in favor of Prop 15, because that Prop 15 will take those taxes and put them into education, and I think that's probably the way we're going to have to go. I would like to think that we could do a measure, and I would be for, as a trustee, I would be for putting forth a measure to raise funds, but I think that we're probably going to, at this point in time, what we're voting on is Prop 15 and getting those monies from businesses diverted back into our schools. And so I think that's the way we're going to have to go. I would be for doing a measure though, if, you know, but you have to do as a board, you have to do your homework and get involved with the community, do surveys and see if the community is interested. And we've had a hard row in the past doing measures in our district, not just in our district, other districts too, but Morgan Hill has had a hard row doing measures. I'm glad, you know, Measure G went through, but I think we're going to have to get that money from Prop 15. That'll be our best bet for right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Pam. All right, Ivan, back to you. The City Council and the Morgan Hill Unified School District Board of Education meet on a regular basis to discuss issues that cross over between the two jurisdictions. What do you see as the most important issue the city government can address with the Morgan Hill Unified School District?
Yeah. So when we look at this collaboration, I would say that there's two issues that come to mind most importantly. And I think, well, ensuring that we're collaborating to meet the wraparound needs of our families. So talking about making sure we're able to connect our families and students to services and to the supports that they need to be successful. I would also say that there's a great opportunity here to think creatively about some of the barriers that we see, access to affordable housing, and ensuring that our teachers are able to actually live in the city where they work in. And so through the collaboration between city and the district, I think that there's an opportunity to really think creatively about that. I think as we continue to grow, this collaboration is going to be critical. But right now, what we know is that the needs of our families don't end when the students come to school. That it's a holistic approach. And so I think this collaboration to meet the wraparound, to provide wraparound services, to ensure that we're meeting the social emotional needs of our students and families, particularly now during distance learning, as well as thinking creatively to support the sustainability of those that serve our community and students to live here.
Thank you. All right, we're at the home stretch. Last question, I promise. All right, Pam, this one's to you first. Same question.
Okay.
I'm sorry, this is gonna be the last one. COVID-19 aside, what is the biggest challenge that the school district faces? If elected, what is your role in addressing that challenge?
COVID-19 aside, huh? I don't think that, you know, with right now that is the focus on everything, because, you know, children learn best when it's face to face with their teacher, with other students. And distance learning is fine if you have a good internet, you have a hotspot or something in your area. But that's not always the case for our students. And even when distance learning goes away, when children are trying to do their homework, after school work, we still need those hotspots in this area. And as someone who lives in an area, I'm out in the country, and I'm in an area that I have really bad internet, and I'm in that gap between San Jose and Morgan Hill. So having hotspots, even after COVID-19 and kids are back in school, they still need to keep those hotspots so that kids can do their homework at nights and do research for school the next day. So, and keeping kids engaged, again, keeping kids engaged, and have homework clubs and then the hotspots and the homework clubs, so that kids and the community are working together and keeping kids safe, keeping them engaged. And so that's pretty much, but you've got to have those hotspots. We have to have hotspots and keeping the kids safe, not just as of COVID, but keeping them safe within the community and having them feel that they can go to and from the library or wherever they need to go or want to go, and having the homework club after school and things like that they're important things that children need to have. And as a board member and working with the board in the city, you have to bring those things together. I understand that, but the board needs to really support those kinds of programs so that children have places to go and to get their work done, to have fun. It's important for kids to have fun. And so that's what I think that we still need to be focusing on after COVID-19 and everybody is back to whatever normal will be at that time. We still need to have programs and things for our children after school. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Pam. Okay, Ivan, same question?
Absolutely. So I would say that, as an educator, one of the things that we strive for is for the students and community that we serve, for them to have the life options and opportunities that they want. And I would say top of mind would be, pre-COVID, would be to ensure that we're providing our students an educational experience that is preparing them for the opportunities of today and of tomorrow. We live in Silicon Valley, and our neighbors are Facebook, Google, amongst many others. And we need to make sure that the educational experience that we're providing our students matches the outcome that we want, that they're prepared to engage in these opportunities. And so what I've seen within our district, and I think it's important to continue on the path of providing those hands-on, STEAM-focused, career-oriented opportunities, but then also having the facilities to match that. So making sure that we have 21st century classrooms as we move forward, so that our students have the experience to prepare for these opportunities. When we look at the reality of our school district, there's an opportunity to deepen the levels of achievement for the students we serve in math and English language arts, particularly for our students with disabilities, our students identified as English language learners, and our students who are socioeconomically disadvantaged. What we see is that students within these subgroups are performing at, have lower levels of achievement relative to other groups. And I think as a community, if we prioritize a hands-on education that has clear connection to the opportunities around us, we'll continue to support and ensure that they have the life options that they choose.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you both of you. Thank you, Pam and Ivan, for taking the time to speak with us tonight and spending some time with us, letting us get to know you a little bit more and your platforms. We truly appreciate it. That wraps up our evening. Thank you to everyone else that tuned in this evening. If you missed any of the candidate conversations, you can review them on the Morgan Hill Chamber of Commerce Facebook page and or the YouTube channel. Thank you for showing up, being a part of the conversation, and happy voting, everyone. Bye now.
Thank you. Bye.